Cryptocurrency at the moment has been a lot in the news, many people talking about it, many people saddened because maybe they missed the train on phenomenal growth on cryptocurrency valuation that we experienced in the last month or so. Some people today very sad because they didn't sell the Bitcoin or Ethereum and lost a lot of money. It's the story like we always hear about cryptocurrency, the high fluctuations. So within all this crypto space, we want to learn about this project and learn whether this project actually delivers a more solid return, which I believe it does, of course, and that's why we want to share about it. So let me just share my screen with, let's start with a presentation that I made on the ecosystem, mainly about Paynet coin. Okay, so I trust you can see the presentation now. Let me just put it in full screen. Before I start actually with the presentation, allow me to present myself a little bit more. And actually for that, I also wanted to show you directly from the internet. So let me just jump on to share here about myself. So my name is Daniel Bohrer. I'm a doctor, PhD in international banking from Switzerland. I am originally from Switzerland, and I also studied in Switzerland, so I earned my PhD in Switzerland, as well as my master. I have two masters. Let me just jump to the qualifications. Two masters, one master in business and economics from my Swiss university, and one master in leadership and strategy from UK. And then the PhD, which I earned in international banking, also from the Swiss university. Currently, I am a lecturer, course coordinator, and researcher at RMIT University. RMIT is an Australian university, but I'm actually working in the Vietnamese campus. They have a full-fledged campus since 20 years, working here as serving as a university with 9,000 enrolled students. I teach master courses and also undergraduate courses, as well as having my teaching team to guide through in the teaching. I also like to write, investigate on financial topics, economic topics. So if you Google my name, you will find lots of newspaper articles and also journal articles, scientific journal articles on financial and economic topics. This one here is one I'm very happy about it, which I'm the lead investigator on managing risk in financial assets, which actually was published in a very high-ranking journal in a financial journal. Okay, so let's move then to the presentation on the ecosystem. Basically, there are millions of cryptocurrencies. Actually, it's very easy to create a cryptocurrency for an IT professional. Within 10 minutes, they can actually create a cryptocurrency for you. But the question is then, after creating that cryptocurrency, what is the usage for it? Will people demand that cryptocurrency? Does the cryptocurrency offer any value? And that is where the ecosystem actually comes in. That is important. Now, cryptocurrency is undoubtedly on a growth path. Why are people so interested in cryptocurrency? So first of all, it offers a very safe way to store wealth, more than banks and other financial institutions, because we know that banks can bankrupt. There are economic crises, financial crisis, currency crisis, all sorts of crises, which actually does not affect cryptocurrency. Even then, people can like maybe steal your money if you keep it at home, steal your safe, open your safe. All those issues are not relevant when you keep wealth in a cryptocurrency wallet, because it's all stored in the blockchain, which is corroborated. So it's very clear that you have money stored. It's like basically putting it into a stone, graving it into a stone, your name with your assets. So it really cannot be erased. So it's a very safe way to store wealth. Even if somebody steals your cell phone, steals your laptop, you still have access to your crypto wallet. So very safe. Also now people are realizing how beneficial it is for global transactions, because it's a global system. So you don't require banks, and you can actually control your assets and do the transactions very easily with your crypto wallet. And then also another benefit is that it actually does not suffer from inflation, because traditional currencies, they actually, as we know, suffer from inflation because central banks will continuously print money, which is not the case for cryptocurrencies. So if you have a solid cryptocurrency, and that is one question that we need to answer, which one is a solid cryptocurrency, then you actually will not suffer from inflation. Now, that is the reason why, for example, this gentleman here, Elon Musk, maybe you like him or maybe you don't, but he will be part of Trump's government. He will become one of the ministers of the new US administration. And he claims cryptocurrencies bypasses currency controls. Paper money is going away. So he claims that the traditional money has no usage in the future, but that cryptocurrency will actually be our future money. That rests to be seen, but the tendency is actually definitely into digital currencies. And he will be a very influential person in the future, so definitely something to take note. Now, even Donald Trump, the new US president from next year onwards, he claims, I will ensure that the US will be the crypto capital of the planet and the Bitcoin superpower of the world. Now, that is also why when he got elected, Bitcoin and others coins increased so much in value because of his election, and continue to then increase in value. Now, so the US is still the financial center of the world. And the fact that Donald Trump and Elon Musk and very strong advocates, actually other parts of the government of the US, Donald Trump already announced some names that are very much in favor of cryptocurrency. So the new US government will definitely foster cryptocurrency, the usage of cryptocurrency, and being the United States as the financial center of the world, this will definitely have repercussions to other countries and just increase the utility and the usage and the prominence of cryptocurrencies in the global financial system. So the question is then, okay, so where can I actually store money? Where can I store wealth safely? Because we are moving into a world where cryptocurrency becomes more useful for any type of transactions. But then we want to have a platform of a cryptocurrency that actually is safe, that allows good storage, where we actually know that we will have a good valuation. And that brings us to the point of the ecosystem of a cryptocurrency. As I mentioned, there are millions of cryptocurrencies floating around, but only a few are actually still traded and have value. And if you want to understand the value of a cryptocurrency, you need to understand its ecosystem. The ecosystem will answer you for what it's used and what is the value for the community of this cryptocurrency. This here is the ecosystem of Paynet coin, Fmcpay. We have Paynet coin as the coin of exchanger. Now, coin of exchanger means that you actually need Paynet coin cryptocurrency to do transactions for in the Fmcpay ecosystem. It runs on blockchain technology 2.0, which is on the staking process, not the mining, which is more eco-friendly as well. There we have the Fmcpay exchanger. I will show you live then also with digital share trading from next year onwards. a second coin, which is the FMC coin, also very interesting in the recent week and so on. And especially crucial for this whole ecosystem is that Fmcpay managed to open up their platform, their ecosystem to the global payment systems, to open it through the online service payment. And so basically Fmcpay can connect to different global payment systems and make the coin usable for those payment systems. And that is basically where the future of cryptocurrency lies, to connect the cryptocurrency platforms to real usage of financial system. And that is what Fmcpay is very, very hard trying to do, and successfully so until now, and actually working strongly on improving their ecosystem and the usability for the users. Now, let me go to the website here directly on the internet. Let's look at some parts directly to understand about the ecosystem. So this is the Fmcpay platform. Fmcpay platform is one major part of the ecosystem of Fmcpay. And allow me to show you on Fmcpay the trading volume per day. So let me just go here to a third party. CoinCap News is a platform that allows us to learn about cryptocurrencies, compare cryptocurrencies. So I want to show you here on the Fmcpay exchanger. Okay, this one. It's not the one I wanted to show, just a moment. Sorry, here. All right, that I will show you later on this one. Here, Fmcpay. Just to have an idea on the trading volume of the Fmcpay exchanger, currently 160 million US dollar per day trading volume. Fmcpay, what is the exchanger? If you're not familiar with cryptocurrencies, cryptocurrency exchanges are basically money changers where you can change your US dollar to your local currency, but in fact for cryptocurrencies. So the trading volume, as I mentioned, 160 million. So here we have daily transactions, hourly transactions, every second transactions that are actually generating genuine revenue and profitability to the Fmcpay ecosystem. Now, when you want to transfer money from your Fmcpay wallet to other wallets, you have to pay the transfer fees with Paynet coin. So there is a genuine utility for a Paynet coin for the users to actually require and demand Paynet coin cryptocurrency to perform transactions. Now, besides that, the exchange, we have then from next year onwards, where you can also directly from your Fmcpay exchange, you can then trade, invest into stock market trading. This is a novelty that other platforms are not offering. So Fmcpay will be one of the first to actually offer this in stock market trading directly from the exchanger. And how will you pay for these stock markets? If you buy a Tesla stock or an Amazon stock and so on, well, of course, with Paynet coin again. So more utility for Paynet coin again, for holding and demanding Paynet coin. Besides that, Fmcpay also offers a new section, and you can see here that we had 2 million KYC verified users on Fmcpay. Now, this is also interesting to know because only 1 year ago, there were only 500 million KYC verified users. So 500,000 verified users of the Fmcpay exchanger platform. Now, 6 months ago, it already hit 1 million KYC users. So meaning that within a 6-month period, it doubled the users from 500,000 to 1 million. And then 6 months later, it again doubled from 1 million to 2 million. and actually now we are already hovering around 2.5 million KYC users. So, and the plan for next year, the goal for next year is 5 million users, KYC users. So you can see that every 6 months, basically, the users, the community of FMCPay is growing. So we have exponential growth actually in the users of FMCPay. So this also indicates that FMCPay is a solid project that people accept. People are happy to use it to become members, and it's a growing community, exponentially growing community. Now, this is one part of the ecosystem, probably the most important one, but there is also CoinCap News, which I was showing before. CoinCap News is a platform that allows us to compare different cryptocurrencies, and this is also part of the FMCPay ecosystem. And now here you can see that there are 16,000 cryptocurrencies listed at the moment in CoinCap News, and each of these currencies actually has to pay a listing fee to FMCPay. So there's again more revenue generated through this other platform, CoinCap News, which is part of the FMCPay ecosystem. Then we have also very interesting HeoTrip. HeoTrip is an online booking platform that allows you to book hotels or flights around the world. You can actually log in and just try to look for a flight from Lagos to Paris or to Singapore, New York, and you will find several flights. The prices are competitive as well. But what is interesting, because this is actually part of the ecosystem of FMCPay, this page belongs to FMCPay. When you get to the payment options, you actually can pay the flight or the hotel with Paynet coin. So you can see that there is more utility actually for the users. So Paynet coin is due to this ecosystem, and this ecosystem that is growing is actually very useful for the community to actually utilize, and it's creating more demand for Paynet coin. Now, what is the trading part of Paynet coin? How does it perform? Also, if we compare with other cryptocurrencies. So let's look at Paynet coin a little bit more in detail, because this is also one important piece of information that we need to understand the staking investment project that is being offered. So you can see here that, it dumped just recently, Paynet coin, around 50 cent, 51 cent US dollar per Paynet coin. You can see here a decrease in the valuation recently. This is 1 day. Let's look at 7 days, for example. You can see also it looks like a dump here in the coin recently. Now let's compare for 1 day, and I will guide you through with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is the king of coins of the cryptocurrency we know. And this comparison works like this. Imagine that 24 hours ago, you invested $1,000 into Bitcoin, or you invested $1,000 into Paynet coin. Paynet coin is the blue line. The orange line is Bitcoin. If you had invested $1,000 into Bitcoin, you would be crying today because you lost 6% on your investment only in 1 day. With Paynet coin, you can see that I call it actually sometimes the boring coin. Why? Because it's flat like a plate. Yes, it dumped a little bit, but not by far how much by Bitcoin dumped. So with Paynet coin, you had lost 0.4%, 0.4%, and not over 6%. Now let's look at 7 days. If you had invested 1 week ago in $1,000 into Bitcoin, you also would be crying a bit because you had lost around 5%, and you can see Paynet coin over the last 7 days quite stable. Let's look at 1 month, because in the last month, Bitcoin has had this enormous, phenomenal growth, and you can see that it actually went up and down like a very volatile, very scary actually to invest into Bitcoin. And you can see Paynet coin quite flat. Now, what happens when we compare the valuation of Paynet coin and Bitcoin over the last year? So over the last year, we have heard that Bitcoin had this phenomenal growth. And you can see that, in fact, over the last year, Paynet coin had won around 116%. Now, Paynet coin has won 70%, but you can see that it is much more stable. So Paynet coin, although it's a very stable coin, it actually has, in the long run, a tendency to increase even compared to very strong cryptocurrencies, prominent cryptocurrencies. Paynet coin is actually quite profitable. Okay, and now let's look at a 2.5-year comparison. You can see that since January 2022, this is basically 2 years now, but you can see that Paynet coin has tremendously outperformed but Paynet coin won 330% over the last 2 years. So in the long run, Paynet coin is actually Ethereum. We have again, same story. Ethereum over the last 2 years, a zero or actually a negative performance, while Paynet coin has 320%. Over the last year, you can see Ethereum very scary, very much fluctuation, up and down. Paynet coin very solid, and with Ethereum you had one for 45%, while with Paynet coin around 75%. But besides the very strong performance, solid performance of Paynet coin, you can see that it's not scary. Actually, again, if we go to a shorter time frame, you can see that Paynet coin is quite solid. Again, as I mentioned, boring coin, while Ethereum goes up and down, and 7-day performance very stable. So actually, Paynet coin holders are very comfortable to keep Paynet coin in their wallet because they know that in the short run, they will not lose. Even there is a crypto crash, even all the other strong currencies are dumping and so on, Paynet coin is a very solid value to have. And in the long run, you actually make a lot of money, although in the short run, it's very solid. So people holding Bitcoin, holding Ethereum, every morning they have to open the phone first thing in the morning, check how much they lost, how much they won, and it's really something very scary. You don't sleep well at night because you don't know what is happening to your assets, and you're crying in the morning or you're partying in the morning. But with Paynet coin, people don't have to open up every morning their app to check the coin because you know how much the value will be. But in the long run, actually an increase in valuation. Now, having said this, let's move on to actually the investment project that probably most of you are very interested in. And one question that I constantly receive when talking about Paynet coin is, how on earth can Paynet coin pay 9% per month in US dollar? 9% per month, that corresponds to 108% per year. So there are different packages that one can invest in, starting from $10 up to $3,000. $3,000 is the most profitable one with 9%, which then gives 108% return per year. So what happens is that you stay you invest $3,000, and then within the next 2 years, for the next 2 years, every day you will receive $9 daily as profit. That is the $270 per month, 9% per month, $270 per month. So that breaks down to approximately $9 per day. So every morning you get $9 more on your investment account. That accounts up to $6,300, and then that is the profit, and then you receive your $3,000 back. So you receive a payback of $9,300 for $3,000 investment. You get basically 3 times within the next 2 years. You get 3 times the value of your investment. Now, to understand about how FMCPay actually can pay you back in a solid way, we need to understand how the staking actually works. So you have $3,000. You have to first buy Paynet coin worth $3,000 that you then hand over to FMCPay to invest in your staking account. Now, the staking account, once you hand over the Paynet coin worth $3,000 to FMCPay, they will accredit you in your staking account $3,000, so convert back into dollars, $3,000 of staking investment. And from then on, every day you receive $9 per day. Now, when can you withdraw money? Anytime you want, you can withdraw money. There's no waiting time or something. So after 5 days, for example, you have approximately $45. You want to withdraw them, you can withdraw them. There are some fees, of course, withdrawal fees, but you are actually free to actually already withdraw money and go to have a nice dinner or something like that. Now, how does the withdrawal work? The same way. You actually convert the US dollars that you receive in your staking account. You convert first at the market rate into Paynet coin, into the cryptocurrency. And then FMCPay will pay you out your dollar worth in Paynet coin. And that is important to understand because FMCPay is actually keeping Paynet coin in their central wallet, not US dollar. This is important to note for how they finance this. So FMCPay keeps Paynet coin. When you invest, you give them Paynet coin. They keep the Paynet coin for you. When you cash out, they actually will pay you out in Paynet coin, although your staking investment is all in US dollar, accounted in US dollar. Now, what do you do with the Paynet coin? You can immediately sell them for US dollar, and you will get exactly the same US dollar amount that you had in your investment account, because this transaction that I show you here on the picture takes actually 30 seconds to do. So you receive your dollars in Paynet coin, you sell the Paynet coin in the market, and you receive exactly the same dollar amount that you had. But the company is actually paying you back in Paynet coin. Now, let's look at an early investor, because I was a bit concerned hearing that this project is already running for almost 4 years now. In March 2025, it will be 4 years that this staking program is running without any change. So the investors 4 years ago had seen exactly the same staking program that you are seeing currently. So I was concerned when I heard about this project that maybe early investors are cashing out and now are sucking liquidity from the project, taking it out because their investment cycle of 2 years already concluded. So investors joining in 2021, joining in 2022, they already concluded the investment cycle and they can cash out. So I was concerned maybe this is actually then sucking out liquidity from the project, and it becomes more and more risky for us to invest. Now let's look at one of these early investors. For example, this person here on February 1st, 2022 invests $3,000. As we know, because I explained before, you have to buy the equivalent of Paynet coin in the market for your $3,000. So this person here buys Paynet coin equivalent to 3,000, which at that moment was 31,000 Paynet coin at that time. You can look up the numbers in the history statistics. So this person hands over 31,000 Paynet coin to FMCPay. Let's imagine that this person just 2 years later comes and withdraws the full amount, the initial investment plus the profit, the full $9,300 2 years later. We know that you can withdraw before, but let's just for simplicity assume that this person here just comes back 2 years later and withdraws everything. Now, the $9,300 are worth now 26,500 Paynet coin, because the valuation in February 2024 was 35 cents. Currently, it's 50 cents, as we know, so it grew already since then, but at that time, it was 35 cents. So let's look at an overview for this investor. This investor invested in 2022 $3,000, receives back $9,300 2 years later. So gets the full 6,300 as promised and goes home, opens a bottle of champagne and celebrates. Now, what happens to the cash flow of FMCPay? And this is a crucial point to understand how sustainable actually this investment project is. You see that this early investor invested $3,000 and bought Paynet coin for $3,000, handed over to FMCPay 31,000 Paynet coin. But actually 2 years later is receiving only 26,500 Paynet coin. So actually the investor is receiving 4,500 Paynet coin less than he invested 2 years ago. But in US dollar, he is receiving exactly the promised profit. So again, what happened here? FMCPay is keeping Paynet coin. FMCPay is receiving $3,000 worth of Paynet coin from us as investors. They keep Paynet coin in their central wallet. Paynet coin in the time of 2 years actually increased in value from approximately 10 cents to 50 cents. So actually the increase in value of Paynet coin was 5 times. 5 times increase in value of Paynet coin. But the investor is receiving only 3 times the value increase in US dollar. Because for every dollar that I invest, I get $2 back. So I get actually a 3 times increase in value. But what happened in the past now is that Paynet coin increased in value 5 times. And who is keeping Paynet coin in the central wallet? FMCPay. They are keeping you $3,000. So the $3,000 that were invested by an investor 3 years ago actually increased in value to $15,000, 5 times. The value of that increased to 15 over that time. But they pay you not 15,000, they pay you 9,300. So actually FMCPay made profit through these early investors. Now, that shows why actually FMCPay is so successful and so stable over the almost last 4 years. But the question becomes then, so what will happen towards the future? How will the currency perform now? So first of all, it's interesting to see that who keeps Paynet coin? FMCPay keeps Paynet coin for us. We are paid out in US dollar. We don't care about the cryptocurrency valuation because we receive our staking profit in US dollar. But FMCPay is very much concerned to increase the value of Paynet coin because if the value of Paynet coin starts to lower, they will be the ones affected most. So they have the highest interest in keeping Paynet coin at a high valuation. Now, what are they doing so far and what is this evolving? So currently, for example, FMCPay also managed to open up their platform for e-commerce. What does that mean? That companies that want to offer their customers payment with Paynet coin and using the platform, the payment platform of FMCPay, they can actually already utilize it. They can already use FMCPay platform and Paynet coin for transactions for their customers. So that is the e-commerce that is already offered to any business globally in the world. Next year we will have Paynet. We will have stock market trading with it, which is a unique feature for FMC for cryptocurrency exchanges. So you can see that the FMCPay ecosystem is being built with real utility, real usages for the community, for real financial transactions. That is why I believe that the Paynet coin valuation, I forecast it to be around $5 within the next 2 years. $5 now, again, that means that going from 50 cents to $5, it's a value increase of 10 times. From 50 cents to $5 would be a value increase of 10 times. Now, we as investors are receiving 3 times. But if it's true that actually Paynet coin valuation goes up to $5, it would be an increase in valuation of 10 times. Now, why do I say 10 times? And I think that that is actually reasonable. I will give you one more indication why I think that this is actually a very reasonable forecast. Actually, if you talk to other people in the Fmcpay community, some other experts are actually claiming it will be around $10. But let's just think of $5, why I think that that is reasonable. And I want to share with you another coin, or actually, let me just compare it to Paynet coins. Let me compare it to Paynet coin first, so that we can have a comparison of BNB. Now, BNB, what is BNB? BNB is the cryptocurrency, the coin of exchange of Binance. Binance is another cryptocurrency exchanger platform. It's the largest exchange globally. And you can see BNB again over the last day, losing out, loss of 8% in BNB valuation. Over the last 7 days, also you have a loss of over 8%. Again, compared to Paynet coin very solid, BNB losing. Over the last month, again, we had this phenomenal increase of BNB, but now losing out again. And if you compare it over the last year, you can actually see that BNB did quite well, 150% better than Ethereum, better than Bitcoin, but again, a very scary way. And if you compare over the last 2 years, you can actually see that BNB only increased 22%, while actually Paynet coin increased 350%. So the community actually, again, in the long run, backing up Paynet coin, even compared to very top cryptocurrencies, for example, BNB. Now, let me show you a little bit more on BNB, this cryptocurrency that, again, if we compare it in the long run to Paynet coin, it's actually losing out. It's not as solid. In the short run, also losing out. But let me share you that actually BNB started off as cryptocurrency with 9 cents per coin 7 years ago, exactly like Paynet coin. Now, BNB, which is only an exchanger, it's the largest exchanger, but it is only an exchanger. You cannot buy flight tickets, hotel booking. You don't have e-commerce with BNB, with Binance. You don't have e-commerce with Binance. So all these, that ecosystem is not being built up with Binance, but it is being built up with Fmcpay. So how did this increase? The valuation, the all-time high just recently, December, $790. And so currently $650 worth. So from 9 cents to $650 within 7 years. Now, I'm not saying that Fmcpay or Paynet increased to $50 to $500, but I'm claiming that $5 are actually quite reasonable within the next 2 years. Now, why is this good news for us? Because when it increases from 50 cents to $5, and the Paynet coin that Fmcpay holds increases in value by 10 times. So basically the $3,000 I'm giving Fmcpay may in the next 2 years grow to become $30,000. My $3,000 that I give them may be worth $30,000 in Paynet coin in the next 2 years. But they are only giving me $9,300 back. So I think that our investment is very safe. Now you can ask then, but why should I actually invest into staking if I can make so much profit with Paynet coin? Well, good question, but remember this, and actually some people are considering to just invest into Paynet coin. But what I like about the investment strategy, about the staking, is that, first of all, I have a very good profitability with 108% per year. very solid, very good investment profitability for my money in US dollar, not cryptocurrency. I don't depend on cryptocurrency, and I can manage my profit very clearly, because I know that every year, every day, I will receive $9 more. So let's just compare. If you want to invest into Paynet coin, yes, it's possible. But let's remember that I mentioned to you that Paynet coin is actually the boring coin. So over the last month, for example, you would not have received a strong profitability with Paynet coin. It's quite flat. Your assets are safe, but you're not making a lot of money. In the long run, it will increase, but when will it increase? I don't know. So I feel more safer and more comfortable having an investment project where I know that every day I will receive $9 extra. So I think we have a very excellent opportunity here to make a large investment. Also, sharing this with friends can increase the profitability and the payback, making it much faster and allowing us to actually reinvest more and more packages. So I think it's a golden time for us to take advantage of this very wonderful system that we have in this project, with so many different projects in the crypto world that are confusing, that are scary. We have found one project that actually gives back what it promises, has been trustworthy for the last almost 4 years already, changing lives of people and making the world just better. And this is continuing. So let's take advantage of this. And thank you very much for your attention. And I'm happy to also try to answer any questions that you may have. Thank you very much.
Amazing, amazing, Dr. Dan. Very, very amazing. Just, I'm sure most of us have had, and then enjoy. Have told us going to be very enlightening, eye-opening, and then highly educative. I know some of us have questions, and you can quickly type before um, we want to invite Mr. Ayobami. Of course, definitely have a lot and one or two things to say. And then, because one of the things is that it's not about just trying to hype anything for you, but of course, when someone have fact and figure about what he's doing, it's likely going to explain certain things to you that will keep you on your track. I was sharing with him the other day, and I think it was when that Dr. Dan or Mr. Tony was looking at about our movement in Africa, for instance, on the payment ecosystem and FMC. And I said, one thing I observed definitely is that, number one, a lot of Africans, especially in Nigeria, had fallen victim of too many Ponzi schemes, and they have paid dearly with their hands. And quite unfortunately, again, I think more when Bitcoin was at about, I think about $107,000. I was sharing with some of people in a group, and I said, well, if you are in profit in any some of those token you bought, I think this is a high time you take some profit and lock in so that you can be making salary. And of course, it looks like maybe the person was just speaking in marketing language, but we can see the massive dump that's still happening, and we have not even stopped. Probably maybe Bitcoin, in if we didn't stop at about $91,000, that means we can crash to about $73,000. And now, so what does actually tell us? It tells us about, oh, it's now will have appreciated the fact that, I mean, let me say, if somebody who was holding a portfolio of about $300,000 in his account about just last week, I'm sure if he's checking that $300,000 now, it should have melted to maybe $170,000. And what will have $100,000 do for such person to have grip it out and lock it down into payment ecosystem for, I call it, uninterrupted consistent salary every month for the next 24 months. Okay, just by the way, and please, if you have any questions, quickly ask. I'm going to be inviting Mr. Ayobami. You have a lot of things to tell us, and then of course you can type it. Let me quickly read out this question from John. Must you hold the coin for 2 years, or is it this investment accessible anytime for withdrawal? Okay. Must you hold the coin for 2 years, or is this investment accessible? Is this investment accessible anytime for withdrawal? Okay. So Mr. Obami, over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Mr. Victor, Mr. Felix. Thank you, Dr. Daniel, for your time. We are very grateful. Okay, so the person asking that question, once you lock in your investment, what you have access to is your reward for 2 years. So after 2 years, then your capital is unlocked. But you don't have access to your capital before the expiration of the investment. Your investment takes 2 years. But then for these 2 years, month in, month out, you have access to your reward without any failure. All right. But for the capital is until the end of the project of the contract. That's that for that question.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, yeah, that is correct. It's a little bit more nuanced than that, because basically, as I mentioned, every day, if you stick today, from tomorrow onwards, you will already see. You can hear me. From tomorrow onwards, you will see that you receive $9 every day, and in fact, after 11 months, roughly, you will have enough profit to recover your initial $3,000. So actually, you recover your initial investment after 11 months. Okay. But the structure of the investment program, is that it kind of says that you first receive your profit, and then after 2 years, after receiving $6,300 profit, then you can actually unlock your initial investment and receive it back as well. But it's dollars nonetheless. So basically, actually, in fact, after 11 months, you already have back your initial investment. You can recover your initial investment. Now, by the way, if you do active investment, if you work on promoting the program to friends and family and so on, you can get 5% direct commissions on direct investors. And then also on the pairing, because there is a pairing on left and side rights. So when I recommend to somebody, I can recommend from my right side or from my left side. And if my right and my left is balanced, meaning that there's the same amount of investment from other friends and referrals on my left side and on my right side, then I get an additional 8% on that. Now, when I say that I get an additional 8% or 5% commission bonus and so on, because other people have been investing under me, basically, what happens is that I can recover my $9,300 much faster. So I don't receive more money, but I receive my $9,300 faster. So when one does active investment, it actually happens that you don't have to wait 2 years or 2 years and then something, but actually within 6 months, 8 months, you can already recover not only $3,000, but actually $9,300 often. But that will be depending a bit on how many people are joining and so on. I hope that answers the question.
Yeah. Okay, so anyone with other questions, please kindly ask, and so that you can be clarified, because some of those things that really happens is the fact that if you're able to get clarified from people who will be objective in the question you're asking, and then you are better, more enlightened than, meeting with guesswork. Well said, the worst type of knowledge is assumption, and that's not going to be healthy for you, neither for even close persons around you. Okay, so if you have more questions, please quickly ask, and before we shut down. And I'm sure for a number of people you have invited, and I'm sure those friends that invited you, I'm sure this should be an appreciation so far for what you've learned. Okay, somebody said good morning, Daniel. Okay, so please pick on and ask a question. No, please ask question as well you're typing. So just before the fellow type questions and all of that, I'm still going to call Mr. Obami, unfortunately, to share his experience with this project. Now, quickly, like myself, like I was saying earlier on, I said most time people don't. I love what Dr. Dan was talking about uh, paying token being a boring token ordinarily, right? Because there was some time about a month or 2 months ago when a training, and Dr. Dan said, if you're a trader who love just to be following the market up and down, you definitely would not want to do anything with paying a token. Reason being that you're not going to have the kind of volatile or crazy volatility that you will experience in other crypto, including Bitcoin itself. Now, but the challenge too is this. I'm a trader, for instance, and many friends will look at me and say, Felix, why will you invest maybe $20,000, $30,000 in Paynet ecosystem whereby you can trade either spot or future, and sometime within maybe in 1 week, you can do 500% trading. For instance, putting in $1,000 and you long it with 3x and the token move by 50%, that's about 150% that money. And so a lot of people ask me, so rather than putting 3,000, 9,000, 15,000, 30,000 in multiples of packages into payment ecosystem, making just about 9% in a month, and so recording about $270 every month on $3,000, that's a $2,700 every month on, on $30,000. Why not go into even some meme coins that go to pump 800% within a day, 1,000% within a day? Now, let me ask you one question. Many of you agree with me right now, even when we have not entered the bear market, even this massive pullback because of FMOC news, which I did explain to some of us that we're going to have markets going to be affected, both the crypto, the stock market, and at the same time, the gold, as it were. And now, so only this massive drop in the market, and if you refuse to stop, like I said, if the Bitcoin, let me just share with you, and so that's one of the things that most of us wouldn't understand why we are leveraging and taking advantage of our payment ecosystem. Because number one, we are rest assured that things are going to be happening, right? You can see this is Bitcoin. Now, ordinarily, Bitcoin ought to have this stop at this channel, right? To return up and bounce to the channel. So, but unfortunately, you have a massive engulfing candle still continue today, and you have passed 1, 2, 3 days consistent engulfing bearish candle. And so the only safety net you're looking at about 93,000, 92 to 91,000, give and take. And what if you refuse to stop over here? These are 200 EMA at about $87,000. Ladies and gentlemen, that means you're going to find Bitcoin down back to about $73,000. So the question is this, what's your safety net? What's your backup? What's your alternative, right? So that's Bitcoin losing more than 30 to 34%, in the shortest time. Of course, you could see those gaps have been on for a very long time, and these are just like impending stuff. And what if it even take that straight down from this point down back to this demand zone, which is going to be about 38% lost and hitting back to $67,000 to $66,000. Now you will have melted off. And then, but somebody who have a backup of his, ecosystem of payment ecosystem, all right, that way you know the advantage. And I think I did say this too, that, now that the market is up, because my ultimate target for Bitcoin ordinarily was from 79,000, 90,000, and 110,000. In fact, when we crossed 90,000, what I did said was that every other thing Bitcoin is doing right now is like addition for me, just like in our local Nyanin in Nigeria would say Jara. So I said at $90,000 and above, for me, everything Bitcoin is doing is Jara. However, you have a kind of hypes to say Bitcoin is going to hit 120,000, it's going to hit 200,000, going to hit 150,000. Well, I'm not saying it's not going to get there, but what if you never get there? So what's your plan B? And those are the things we actually enlighten people on, because of the market is never your friend and it's going to do what it's going to do. And that's one of the things. Because why? The dollar strength now is strong and it's getting on, and we've been on target to say dollar DXY to hit about $109, at its own index, as it were. And so those are the advantages we've been taking on Paynet ecosystem, and we're running around. So the same thing on gold. If you get rejected over here, then you're going to find gold being 2.5 and then yada 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 in that order. So that's why you see that what looks so boring at the initial point is a massive stuff as a backup for people. Okay, quickly let me read out this question. You just said that it depends on numbers. Can you make more clarity about, okay, before Dr. Daniels actually answered this, clarity about you refer to numbers as, no. What he's saying is this. Your investment has nothing to do with the number ordinarily. You've locked in, let's take a practical example, you locked in $3,000, and then you're certain that, oh, my package every month, I'm going to be entitled to 9% of $3,000. And now, if that's the case, it's so broken down that this is actually not waiting till the end of the month. It's actually broken down into about $9 every blessed day. And so for that, you do nothing, but you are making your money on a regular basis. So that span through the next 24 months, or give and take approximately, that will have accrued about $6,300, with your capital altogether will have been $9,300, meaning with the total money you blocked into the system, you have been able to roll it 3 times and some 10%, which is about $9,300. So with the 310%. But what he says about the number, assuming you are not just a passive investor, but in your passive investment, you decide to be active in the sense that you start engaging, inviting people. It's there are means of you to earn 5% referral commission for inviting people. And if that happens, then that means what that can have capacity to earn is totally $9,300. And for instance, you come in today and you invite 10 people who do packages that's going to pay you up to $9,300. That means that capacity of that account have earned what it can hold to earn you. That's what talk about the total number of persons. So it has nothing to do with, okay, assuming I just lock in my money and I do not invite any friends, that doesn't stop your return on investment you are making on your lock-in volume every blessed day to a cumulative month. I know that Dr. Dan will clarify more today. Somebody said, can one invest more than $3,000? Okay, maybe Dr. Dan may share a page with us to show that aspect for you to understand. Okay, so I wouldn't jump into that. Okay, somebody's already answered. Oh, lovely, sir. Oh, thank you very much. So the investment is locked for 2 years. That is correct, but receiving daily $9. Okay, you can invest more. Okay. So Dr. Dan, over to you. I never knew you're already doing justice to all of those things already. Thank you. Yeah, Dr. Dan? Okay.
Yeah, no, all good. All good. Thank you.
Yeah. So I hope Okwinbong, you got it clarified, and I think it's direct enough for you to understand what you have asked and the response given to it and all of that. Okay. All right. So Mr. Yobami, you have 1 or 2 things to tell us, your journey so far in the space, especially with a Paynet ecosystem. Why do you just lock your head inside the system and then you don't even want to hear any other thing, but just relax yourself inside this system? Tell us what we don't know.
Thank you very much, Mr. Felix. Thank you, everyone. Dr. Daniel, thank you for always being available to come through for us on weekly basis. All right. So personally, Paynet coin was introduced to me by Tony in the month of June 2021. But because of past experiences and all, it took me 11 months to listen. Between that time and May 2022, Tony and I had about 18 different Zoom sessions where he shared with me the vision, where Paynet coin is going, where it is coming from, and everything. And as a matter of fact, the time he first shared it with me, Paynet coin does not actually have, the exchange was not there. Nothing. I mean, it was just something we call opium in crypto. That was what it is, or it was at that time. But eventually, after like 11 months, and he shared with me what it is that the ecosystem is doing and all. I decided to take a look at it. By myself, they will say they don't tell a blind man that rain is falling. If you cannot see it, you can feel it. Okay. By and large, yes, I got started in the project in the month of May 2022, and I tested the waters with 5 packages. So sorry about that. So they gave me, I tested the waters with 5 slots of $3,000 package, and I was following it up month in, month out. There was no day that I get there and I could not, take out my reward. And that actually boosted my confidence. I shared with a couple of persons. Some started, some even bought packages that they never went back to check until after 2 years. Some bought packages, some signed up and never, put anything on it. But then we kept on, going. And again, so that Paynet coin is one, and then we have another token for derivatives, which is the FMC token. These 2 tokens on the ecosystem has given me, the FMC for one has given me about 34x of my money since I bought it till today. Then the Paynet coin itself is doing some magic. It's done some magic. The $15,000 I put in generated way more than, because in tokens, I keep my tokens, by the side, from 0.08 to 51 cents. The reward I got in 2 years was able to pay me, give and take, over 200,000 tokens. Do that by 51 cents. You know what it means? From there, I treated myself to a sedan, a car, a 2020 Avalon. Then I took back the remaining part of the money, sorted 1 or 2 other things, and then put back 42,000 now back into the system. $42,000 back into the system, and that is generating monthly about $3,700 of give and take on a monthly basis. Right now, that's my salary for the next 24 months, and then after that 24 months, we now check something. Again, of course, there is an end, to the staking portal. But like I said to a couple of persons, a guy that called me yesterday that I've shared this opportunity with for the past 2 years plus, called yesterday and was like, he's ready now. And I said, no problem. There's no time you come that is not, that you're not welcome. For me, we are going to see the made in China of the staking program as far as Paynet coin is concerned. If one thing I've discovered, I've come to see, is that for me, it gives me peace, peace of mind for me to know that, okay, on a monthly basis, whether market fluctuates, market does not fluctuate, I have something that is stable that, you know, I'm going to, I'll be able to pick. And then, just like they say LG, right? For me, life is good. And we keep, you know, rolling as far. So some of us are, I mean, humorously, you know, some of us are in Nigeria, but we are not living in Nigeria. We are not operating by the economy of Nigeria.
Absolutely.
We're in Nigeria, but we are all not operating the economy of Nigeria. That's what Paynet Coin has done for me personally. And then I can't be, you know, grateful enough for the system. About, you know, fear, is anything going to happen? We have gone past that stage. Far past that stage. It's just for me to put in my money, rest, and then I'm good. I'm very good to go. Okay? So that's where we are right now. Thank you very much, everyone, for your time. Thank you, Mr. Felix. Thank you, Dr. Daniel. Thanks to Tony, even in absentia, for this great opportunity. We can't, personally, I can't thank him enough. That's what I will say. Thank you.
Amazing. Dr. Dan, do you have any parting word for us, Dr. Dan?
Yep, thank you. Yeah, just thank you for your attention, and let's benefit. Let's benefit from this project.
Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, just like I love what Mr. Obami was saying. I'm not sure many of us had what he said about when Tony was on him, of course, about this project, and that they were for good 11 months, right? And they were doing, not that just talk to you and leave, talk to him, and then they were doing Zoom, and of course, he had been beaten so many times, and he looked, man, you can't use me again. You know, according to Nigerian people, our mumu don't do. So, Dr. Dan, don't worry, I'll do personal interpretation for you in the connotative language I'm using. Our mumu don't do. So he was not interested based on that. And that beclouded him not to see the beauty and the fantastic stuff around the project. And fortunately, when he became more objective in his mind, he opted in. Now, something happened last October. This October, we had an event in Lagos. And I think I posted this even on Facebook and all of that. There were some gifts that were given on FMC token. So you had when he said it's not about only FMC coin. Now, this thing was given that time, and this token, FMC token, was given that time. And number one, the first 20 people that came on, he personally, so Obama personally gave 20,000 pieces of this token to those people. Now, I think the company again said the people in attendance, create your account, 10,000 were given. That means those people who come in and they were the first set of 20 people got 20,000 volume first and then got another 10,000 volume, making 30,000. That's a part. Now, it was given like within that 24 hours window, but they gave us another privilege of about a week that the first number of people who will activate $3,000 package was going to be given 100,000 Fmcpay token. And for the people invited them, 50,000 Fmcpay token. And I remembered in that 2022 when we signed up, I think about, if I'm not, if I'm not mistaken, I'll check where I just kept it. I think some of us were given 200,000 FMC token. Right? And look at what is now happening now. And I was sharing with somebody last, was it last month when the token was or when the token was about 3 zeros. And I said, if this coin, which is the Paynet token, can go up from that 9 cent and gradually and hit up to that 50 something cent, and we're looking at projecting that the next 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 years to hit about $5. What do you think you're supposed to be doing right now on the FMCP? And I told the person, I said, increase your volume of holding that. And then he quickly that. He shared the page with me the other day. He said, wow, I couldn't imagine that. I said, the point is this. This is a kind of ecosystem for utility. And so imagine free gift giving. And what's still going on now is that when you sign up on the FMC Pay page and download the app and do your KYC, I think about 100 FMC Pay token is still given. Well, I don't know when that will stop or if it has stopped. So, but what I only tell you is that even before anything, whoever that must have invited you, even before anything that you have understood it or not, you should request for the link from that fellow, sign up for your Paynet staking platform, and the FMC Pay register, download the app, and do your KYC first of all, and then let alone if you want to take action. If you are still relaxing, like I've told you, I'm not trying to scare anybody. Bitcoin can crash to $73,000. It doesn't scare for anyone. So I've always listened. I told you, I say, when do I know that market's about to crash? When the market is being overhyped by the conventional mainstream medias and some figure or some institutions and all of that, then you have to be very careful. Say, be greedy when others are scared, and then be careful when others are greedy. I'm not saying the market has come to an end in terms of maybe we have hit the top of the roof for crypto or for Bitcoin, but this is one of the things we'll tell people: hedge your income so that you can be always having a fallback strategy. I think that we are brought into the curtain, drawing the curtain for this meeting. Thank you very much, Dr. Dan, for always being there for us. Your words of knowledge, of course, speak louder. We really appreciate that. And definitely, like we told you earlier, from drawing from what even Tony was able to do to follow up. And I'm sure Tony did not just follow up Mr. Obama for following sake. He must have seen the level of his commitment and consistency of the way he has been doing his business. And he saw a virtue in him that I won't give up on this guy. And today, I'm sure the benefit from both sides should be more bigger from him to more than from Tony's side, because whatever he is making now is not returning it back to Tony. And the same thing, some of us, your friend, have been telling you and then sharing and experience with you. You say, they've come again with their marketing language and all. Even our little way, have somebody who, when account was open and when he checked the other time and he said, I didn't know that this thing had done this normal amount of money. I said, okay, that's one of the lovely things about it. So the worst ignorance is to reject what you know nothing about from afar. And so it's better we bend down to understand. We shall be doing this more, especially this season. And I want to promise most of us in Africa, in Nigeria, that come 2025, we're going to be more aggressive in our update training, both physical and then online. And so, of course, physical in Port Harcourt, Abuja, and Lagos as much as possible. Thanks for coming, for attending this meeting, and for whoever invited you. I think it's expedient after now you go. If it's close to you, give him a pat at the back and say thank you very much, and then ask what next so that you take action. So do have a lovely day, everyone. Thank you for coming, and bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.